I challenge you to find all values that makes these equations true. Okay, let's have a look. I'm just going to work out the first one because the second one is extremely similar. So we are looking at a over b plus c over d being equal to a plus c over b plus d. So this is the classic adding fractions incorrectly equation. Of course, we have to get the common denominator right. We can then just add the tops together and the bottom together. This right here is true for some good values for a, b, c, d, and we are going to make them integers, and that's what we get. To do this, we will have to add the fractions correctly the left-hand side, get the common denominator. Right here we have b, we need a d, and let's multiply that as well on the top. For the second one, we need a b, so multiply this right here and do the same thing on the top. Now put them together. Since they have the same denominator, bd, we can just put the tops together, which is ad plus cb, and make that equal to a plus c over b plus d. Now we have two fractions equaling each other. Go ahead, cross multiply. And remember, use parentheses, all that stuff. So this times this, b plus d times ad plus cb, that will be equal to bd times a plus c. Work this out. This times this is abd plus this times this is cbb, which is cb squared. And then this times this is add, which is ad squared. And then this times this is plus cbd. And we are going to make this equal to this times this, which is abd. And lastly, this times this is plus cbd. In fact, this is actually pretty nice because you can see that on the left-hand side, we have abd, and this is also abd. So this and that cancel. And we also have cbd on both sides. So this and that cancel. So in fact, we just have cb squared plus ad squared. It's equal to 0. This is the condition that we need. We have an equation with all four unknowns. So what we will do is we'll just isolate one of the unknowns. Let's say we want to isolate a. So bring that to the other side. We get negative cb squared and divide d squared here. This is the condition that we need. Now notice a is based on c, b, and d. We call these right here free variables, meaning that we can just pick some values that we want for c, b, and d and work out, and that will determine a. Of course, the values that we select should be legitimate. For example, d cannot be 0, otherwise we will be dividing by 0. Likewise, b cannot be 0 either, same reason. And of course, let's not choose c to be 0 because otherwise it's too boring. So all that stuff. Right here, let's go ahead and pick some good values and work out an example. I want to pick b equal to 4. Because I don't want to pick d equal 1, because if d is equal to 1, then this is a whole number. It's too boring in my opinion. If I have 4, I'm looking at 16 on the top, so that means on the bottom I can have 2, so that it reduces and a will be a whole number. C, I will just pick 3, and D, let's just pick 2. And you will see that a is equal to negative c, which is 3, times b, which is 4, square that, and d is 2 squared. D and then square, so d is 2. Okay, so that's 4, cancel out one of them, so negative 12. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, because b squared and d squared is always positive, so if you pick c to be a positive number, then a will be negative. But if you pick c is negative, then c is already negative. No matter what you do, it's actually like a subtraction. But anyways though, let's work this out. Put this back there. A is negative 12 over b, which is 4, plus c is 3, and d is 2. And that should be equal to, you just add the tops together, which is negative 12 plus 3 over 4 plus 2. Well, let's do the right hand side first. Negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9 over 6, and that will give us negative 3 over 2. Okay, right here, let's go ahead and add the fractions. I am going to get a common denominator, multiply the 2 and 2 here. So we will have 4 on the bottom. This is negative 12, and that's 6. So that is going to be negative 6 on the top over 4. And if you reduce this by 2, that will give you negative 3, and that will give you 2. So this works out very nicely. So pretty fun in my opinion. I would say it's not so satisfying though, because in my opinion, this is not a true addition because here we have a negative a. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's it.